Good evening and welcome to our Wednesday worship this week. It's great to have you joining us online. I'm Pastor Jason Brian Wagner, one of the pastors, and we are continuing our sermon series on super stories of Scripture. We're making a pivot tonight into the New Testament, and we'll be talking about the Beatitudes and Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Not necessarily a story, but a pivotal piece of the New Testament and of Jesus' teachings. So we'll dig into that this week. Just a couple of announcements to keep you informed about some things that are coming up. We are going to have an outdoor worship service on Sunday, July 12th at 10 a.m., and we'll have some more information coming out in the next week or so about that. We will do all that we can to keep the environment as safe as possible. We will be requesting RSVPs for that service so that we make sure that we keep our numbers at a safe amount, and we will be letting you know how we'll go about doing this in the safest way possible. We're excited to be able to gather together again and look forward to that time together. I think that's the extent of our announcements. As we enter into worship, we will take some deep breaths. This is the middle of the week. Maybe lots of things are going on. Maybe you're getting ready for vacation and your lists are longer than you normally have them. So I invite you to take a deep breath and breathe in blessing. Breathe out stress. Breathe in God's grace. Breathe out worry. Breathe in the love of God. And breathe out all those things that keep us from God. And we enter into worship.
Of abundance flow, blessed be your name. Blessed be your name when I'm found in the desert place. Though I walk through the wilderness, blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be your name when the sun's shining down on me, when the world's all as it should be. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name on a road marked with suffering. Though there's pain in the offering, blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. You give and take away. You give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. You give and take away. You give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be Blessed be your glorious name.
As I said at the opening, we've been telling some super stories. As I said at the beginning, we've been telling some super stories of the Bible. Over the last few weeks, we've raised up heroic figures like Moses, devoted characters like Esther, faithful characters like Daniel. Over the next few weeks, we'll be turning our attention to the New Testament, to stories from Jesus and others that inspire us. Unlike past weeks, though, today we're not hearing a story, but rather one of Jesus' most famous teachings, or a part of it anyway. Why? Why are we doing this? Why not a story? Because it's important to remember that not all the people that seek God are great heroes or believe all the time. In these few verses, we hear that God blesses people who are not at their best, who don't have it all figured out, who are downright hurting sometimes. Really, the vast majority of people that follow Jesus are a lot more like this than those great heroes of faith that we hear in the Old Testament and that we raise up in our own histories. We're a lot more like the majority of those who follow Jesus. We do our best to follow, to trust, to love God. But there are plenty of times when life circumstances challenge our faith. The Beatitudes, these opening lines of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, reveal that it is just these situations and these people whom God looks to draw near and to bless. Now, before we get to the reading, let me set the scene. Like most of what Jesus does, the Sermon on the Mount happens among a lot of different people who have different reasons for hanging around Jesus. Some of them are casually curious about the spiritual teacher. Some of them are threatened by him, so they want to keep their friends close but their enemies closer. Some of them were just caught up in following the crowds, have no idea why they ended up there. And others were really looking for a different way of life. Jesus knew that the people gathered to hear him were there for a lot of different reasons. I suspect that's the case today too. We don't all seek Jesus for the exact same purpose. Some of us are curious. Some of us are skeptical. Some of us come out of habit. Some of us are deeply devoted. And some of us, like some of those others who originally followed him, aren't sure what we're looking for, but something keeps us searching. So hear this word from Matthew chapter 4 and 5. Jesus went throughout Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and curing every disease and every sickness among the people. So his fame spread throughout all Syria, and they brought to him all the sick, those who were afflicted with various diseases and pains, demoniacs, epileptics, and paralytics, and he cured them. And great crowds followed him from Galilee, the Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and from beyond the Jordan. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him, and then he began to speak, and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Now perhaps you see some people amongst the crowd that Jesus is talking to, and in his teachings that you wouldn't have expected. Perhaps it's more difficult to see your kind of people in the people that Jesus blesses. Jesus' Sermon on the Mount is a bit scandalous in this way. He doesn't ever say, "You who are grieving, come back when you can pull yourself together." No. Jesus looks in the face of those who are grieving and says, "Blessed are you, dear ones who are grieving, for I am with you in your distress and your loneliness." Jesus looks in the face of the meek ones, the ones who don't get noticed very often and who are talked over all the time. And Jesus says, "Blessed are you, for I see you and I know you. I know you have something to offer the world." Jesus looks at those whose hearts yearn for peace among people and justice in society and says, "Blessed are you. I will lead you in this struggle, no matter how long the road is or how difficult the way is. I believe in you." Friends, this is the kind of story we need, and these are the words we need to hold on to when we feel like we've fallen into the ditch. Too often the stories we tell ourselves and the ones that get the most attention seek to throw the loser out or invite us to turn a blind eye to the hurts of the world. That just isn't the way of Jesus. It's not as though Jesus doesn't recognize and bless others who aren't in the ditch as well, but Jesus makes it a point to remind us that those that many of us often regard as broken or lost or hopeless are just as blessed and beloved as those heroes that we often lift up that look stronger or even more victorious. You can see the crowd looking back at Jesus as he's telling the crowds this. Their brows may be furrowed in concentration and confusion. He's not telling them anything they don't already know through their lived experience. But perhaps it still matters all the more to them and to us, because it is true for God and for us, even when the world wants to spin another tale that would tempt us to think otherwise. Amen. Friends, in the midst of pandemic and social unrest, our friend Nadia Boltz-Weber, who is a pastor, an ELCA pastor and writer, wrote this litany. It's an updated version of the Beatitudes, and I invite you to share in this litany with me today. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the agnostics. Blessed are they who doubt, those who aren't sure, who can still be surprised. Blessed are they who are spiritually impoverished, and therefore not so certain about everything that they no longer take in new information. Blessed are those who have nothing to offer. Blessed are they for whom nothing seems to be working. Blessed are the preschoolers who cut in line at communion. Blessed are the poor in spirit. You are of heaven, and Jesus blesses you. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are they for whom death is not an abstraction. Blessed are they who have buried their loved ones, for whom tears are as real as an ocean. Blessed are they who have loved enough to know what loss feels like. Blessed are the mothers of the miscarried. Blessed are they who don't have the luxury of taking things for granted anymore. Blessed are they who can't fall apart because they have to keep it together for everyone else. Blessed are the motherless, the alone, the ones from whom so much has been taken. Blessed are those who still aren't over it yet. Blessed are they who laughed again when for so long they thought they never would. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are the ones who no one else notices, the kids who sit alone at middle school lunch tables, the laundry guys at the hospital, the sex workers, and the night shift street sweepers. Blessed are the losers and the babies and the parts of ourselves that are so small, the parts of ourselves that don't want to make eye contact with the world that only loves the winners. Blessed are the forgotten. Blessed are the closeted. Blessed are the unemployed, the unimpressive, the underrepresented. Blessed are the teens who have to figure out ways to hide the new cuts on their arms. Blessed are the meek who are of heaven, and Jesus blesses you. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the wrongly accused, the ones who never catch a break, the ones for whom life is hard, for they are those in whom Jesus chose to surround himself. Blessed are those without documentation. Blessed are the ones without lobbyists. Blessed are foster care kids and trophy kids and special ed kids and every other kid who just wants to feel safe and loved and never does. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Blessed are they who know there has to be more than this, because they are right. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are those who make terrible business decisions for the sake of the people. Blessed are the burnt-out social workers and the overworked teachers and the pro bono case workers. Blessed are the kids who step between the bullies and the weak. Blessed are they who delete hateful, homophobic comments off their friend's Facebook page. Blessed are the ones who have received such real grace that they are no longer in the position of ever deciding who the deserving poor are. Blessed is everyone who has ever forgiven me when I didn't deserve it. Blessed are the merciful, for they totally get it.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Jesus gave it to me, I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus gave it to me, I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus gave it to me, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Summer friends, what is our mission? Our journey of faith leads us to build bridges of understanding and peace, to reach out with compassion, and to share the hope of Jesus. Thanks be to God.